What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to another gigastonks video. This one's going to be a little different. We are going completely raw, no editing. I'm out of state on a little vacation, but I still want to get you guys an upload for this Friday. So it's actually Friday right now, hoping to get up in the next couple of hours. What we're going to do today is I'm going to scroll through the top Wallstreetbets trades of the week, both the gains tab here and the loss tabs here. I'm not going to be giving any financial advice, of course, but I'm going to be kind of breaking down how exactly these Wallstreetbets traders made their big wins and their big losses. So again, please excuse the poor visual quality on this one. We're just going to kind of go right in and start taking a look. So the first one is by user character economy 928. Bought NVIDIA in 2022 because he liked gaming. Made an 870% gain for 168K. That's pretty phenomenal. So he bought over 1,000 shares, made 168K, and he put about 20K in there. You can see his average cost here is $17. It's not really clear if he DCA'd in, like dollar cost averaged. Dollar cost averaging, by the way, would be like buying here, and then here, and then here, and then here, and just buying frequently every so often, every few days, weeks, months for a while. Or maybe he bought all of it when it did happen to be 1694, so maybe right around, maybe in June of 2022. It's not really clear when exactly he bought, but he bought when NVIDIA was low, when nobody really knew that it was going to blow up, except for maybe the insiders, of course, and just rode this wave all the way up. He held through early 2024, held through late 2024, held the tariff dip early this year, and just decided to sell right up here at the all-time high, roughly of 160. So huge profit for him. That's how that trade was made. That was a pretty straightforward one. I'm not sure how much of a mystery we demystified there. Let's open a few more tabs here. So this one's by Timmy Tom Tom. He erased 5 years of losses in a week. That's pretty funny. Oh my goodness. So this guy was sitting negative on his account. Negative $200. He lost 100K. Let's zoom in on that. I'm not sure when this photo was taken, but probably in the last, after March 24th for sure. And then in the last couple of months, he has made all of it back, sitting at 124K. Now he's up 23% all time. Now, if you just, that's all time. I'm not sure how. It's like if this is from like here is July and this is March, like this is probably a whole year. So it's like 3-4 years. If he just held the S&P 500, he would definitely be a lot better off. Let's see if he tells us what like positions he had. I'm definitely a positions or band kind of guy here. Let's see. Okay, so it says he made 25K here on options on, that's a COMM $9 call. Let's see. Oh, why am I Googling it like that? So this is CommScope. If he bought a $9 call, this is not what he made his money on at all. No, this is not fluctuating that much. No positions. That's kind of a bummer. What were the positions that did it? 0 data expiration SPY options, pure gambling. Of course. So 0 data expiration options, I've covered in several of my videos. 0 data expiration options, they're pretty straightforward. They expire the day of. So that means that there's a little bit of intrinsic value in the option that you're holding because there is a chance that it becomes valuable. There's a chance the stock goes up or down. The option goes way up or only a little bit down. But again, time is working against you. If the stock doesn't move quickly, nothing happens and your option just loses that little bit of value. It's kind of like a lotto ticket that just goes to zero. So that's pretty solid. 0 day to expiration gain right there. Don't recommend it, but do what you want. Abject lie 7460. No more options for me. Let's see. Here's a gain. So maybe he's just coming out on top. Looks like he went from, I want to say about, this is the past month. Goodness gracious. So he was sitting about 300K all the way up to 4 million. I mean, at that point, you just take half of your gains out, I'd say. Sit back at 2 million and just like see if you got it again and sit on the 2 million for retirement. But no, not this guy. He kept gambling. What are you trying to do with 4 million at that point? Like, that's wild. I'd love to see the positions though. Yeah, see, at 4 million, you pivot to dividends and just live on like, 20K a month, dude. 10x in a month. That's crazy. Welcome back to work, Diamond Hands. Let's see if we got positions anywhere here. Okay. You sell part of your position. You scale out of the position. What were his positions? My guess is for the 14x in like 2 weeks and then losing like 80% of it, my guess would be options with a really short expiration, either 0 DTE again or, weeklies. Could be SPY, could be, another tech stock, could really be anything, but that's my hunch. He doesn't really tell us here. Let's take a look at his profile. So you've got this post. That's it. Damn. 4 years old on Reddit, and he's only ever posted one thing. All right, another gain. Oh, Steve Zisso. So I'm going to link below. I do have a video of this guy. This guy made, let me go to my channel and show you quickly. So this video right here, the Wallstreetbets profit one, this is all about Steve Zisso, like the whole thing. So this is that guy. Minerals guy here. Happy to say the thesis panned out. 1 million plus. Now, at the time of my video, which was a few months ago, I want to say he had made several $100,000. I don't remember exactly. Let me check. I'm recording my own screen with my own video. Let's just yeah, you can see here he was doing pretty well. About 500, 600, 700K. So now Steve Zisso 2 is back. This is his first post. Happy to say the thesis panned out. And he is sitting on 1.3 million. Yeah, he was all in on MP and U. I remember that. I called it quadruple U. I don't know if you're supposed to say quadruple U or U. But he did this massive DD. Let me see if I can find his original account because Steve Zisso 2 got suspended. All right, I'm just going to link the video. You got to watch it. He had a whole due diligence session on MP and U, just like shooting to the moon. And he was right, and now he's a millionaire. So he's probably made much more than I have as a total just in like the past couple of months. That's pretty funny. So good for you, man. Another gain here from Juddy Returns. I'm getting FOMO looking at this, man. Unrealized gain of $500,000 just about. Did he just buy calls on everything or stocks? Let's see. Amazon, Costco, Cerence. I haven't heard of them. CrowdStrike, DoorDash, DraftKings, Lauder SD, how are you? Lantronix. I'm holding Lantronix in my paper trading account, so don't tell the mods on Wallstreetbets that. NVDA, Palo Alto, Palantir, great. Target, Sentinel One, T-Mobile. Oh, those are his stocks. And I see. I don't know what app this is. His options. He's got calls on AMBA. He's got calls on the Amazon calls are printing for him. Looks like he's made all his money on the equities. Let's go back to the first image because he's made 479K. His biggest gains are like Amazon 13K is nice, but that's not most of it. NVIDIA is how he made most of his money. I missed that before. Yeah, so NVIDIA is how this guy's made almost all of his money. He bought in about $6. That's crazy. This guy's made 2,400%. So I mean, he's okay. He's not a bad trader, but NVIDIA is just pretty much. Let's go back to NVIDIA here. $166. He bought in at 6, so he bought in like no later than like the COVID era. That is wild. Besides that, he doesn't have any major wins. I mean, depends. It's all perspective. But like barely cracking 10K on a couple of things. Nothing extremely crazy. Palantir made 10K. 26K on the options. I think he should stop trading and just stick with his NVIDIA win and retire. I don't know if you can retire on $500,000, but like, sit on it, keep working for a decade or two, and then retire. I think that's the play. NVIDIA at 6. Yeah, agreed. If you think you know what the next NVIDIA is, definitely message me. All right, this one's Lucky Excitement 1257. I'm the only retard that somehow made money off spots. We gotta fix this. This gotta say should say retard with a T, not regard. Let's fix this real quick. There we go. Am I the only retard that somehow made money off SPY puts today? So he bought the puts. He closed them on July 3rd. It doesn't say when he bought them. He made 8K. That's a lot of risk though. You see he bought them for, they were 91 cents and then they went up to 105. So he bet 55K. He brought it up to 63K. See what SPY was doing on July 3rd. So that's going to be, yeah, the market went up. He probably did a swing trade. Maybe we could check maybe the Yahoo thing kind of lets you zoom in a little bit further. My guess is he just timed the thing perfectly. Let's open up this advanced chart here. There we go. Back to July 7th. Back to July 1st. All right, we're going to move up. Yeah, so you can see right here, this is July 2nd. And it's just kind of, you know, chugging along here. And morning of July 3rd, I don't even remember what the news was. Trump, Elon, something happened. And it just shot up. Maybe he bought the puts right around here somewhere. So around 12:30-ish. And sold them sometime later. That would explain making some money on puts. No other images, though. Didn't explain when he bought it. What the hell, lost it all today. Well, you know, this guy probably bought at the wrong time. And this guy bought at the right time. And whether that's skill or luck is kind of up for debate, to be honest. Yeah, spending 55K to make 8K is like paying a hooker $150 to twerk on you. Yeah, pretty much. I mean, that's an insane amount of risk with an option that expires. It expired the day of. So if it didn't move in the right direction right away, if it didn't do that huge dip at 12:30 to like 1:30, this guy would have like lost all 55K or most of it. So this was like trying to like run in front of a train when it's like 3 seconds away and you just barely escaped. Let's look at a couple more gains. I think we'll head to some losses. Powerful NVIDIA gains. SPY puts again. Let's see when the SPY puts were purchased. So these expired on... Oh, these are way out. These expired in October. He bought them July 3rd. So he had plenty of time for the S&P to move down. But then again, just a few good days and you could kind of be screwed out of your money. So he put down 62. What's up with these people putting all this money on puts? This is crazy. So he put down 62K on puts. And I know it's 62K because it's worth 70 total here. And he had an 8,000 return. So he put 61 or 62,000 down. And did he sell, though? Took a decent position with time on the table. So he's holding these. He didn't sell them. Repulsive Night 15, if you're listening. Good luck. But I'm not really rooting for you, to be honest. I'm kind of a bull, but 15% on options. Yeah, this is kind of a boring one. Let's go to the last gainer, and then I'll look at a couple of losses. Powerful NVIDIA gains. So this is 400,000 in his investing account. I'd like to thank NVIDIA and HOOD. So let's see what his gains are all about. All right, so 400K account. He's made 300K of that in the last 3 months. So he was sitting at 100K. Calls on NVIDIA. Now you have to wonder... Oh, he purchased the July 3rd call on July 1st, so it's not doing very well. He purchased the July 3rd call here on June 30th, and it is doing a little bit better. No huge gainers, just a lot that made him a little bit. He's not showing his HOOD positions, which is too bad. He no longer holds his option. Now, this is not financial advice either, but definitely a tip I've learned is don't hold your options down to 100%. Like, have a stop loss, have a plan. Even if that plan is holding to 100%, like, at least you have a plan or a concept of a plan. Or, you know, you got something. Don't want to become margin called for sure. Not a lot here. I'd love to see, like, more of a detailed breakdown of positions. Bun Botman, let's see if you got some other posts for us to look at. I need a miracle 3 years ago. And I think we're losing Wallstreetbets stuff. Yeah, I don't even know what this game is. Let's see. Oxygen not included. What is this? Space Colony Simulation game. Okay. So this is 3 years ago. This is like his only other post. And he bought GME. says the contract, but it doesn't say what the. All right, so he bought an option expiring in April in March last year, or 3 years ago. It's got to be a call. It's got to be a crazy call. When he buy it in March of 2022, and then it was expiring in April. So he bought it here. Yeah, my guess is he got just like wiped out. Because I think the break even was 258, even with the stock split, which is a concept for another video. Basically, the stock split changes the price. So he's probably needed it to go up to like maybe like $80, and it was at 40 and went down to 25. So yeah, he definitely went to zero on that. You don't need a miracle, my man. You need a brain. So this guy's doing a lot better now with his NVIDIA gains than he did a couple of years ago with GameStop. That's for sure. So he's definitely matured. Congratulations to you, Bun Botman 990. Look at a couple of losses, and then we will call it a day. So these are the top of the past week, just the losses now. I'm the biggest idiot on earth. Let's open up like a bunch of these tabs, and then we'll start flying through them. One more. Okay. I'm the biggest idiot on earth. Oh, this guy, Mullen. Yeah, I was looking at this. So this guy, Exotic Flatworm, 1817, basically was looking at this Mullen Automotive, I believe it's called. MULN stock. Let's yeah, Mullen Automotive. They do like EVs. So one of those, I kind of think Tesla, and then Lucid is one of them. Rivian, yeah, one of those like EV kind of stocks that just, you can see, didn't turn out to be Tesla. Now the stock price is ridiculously high here because of stock splits. So what that means is that the stock here was not like 17 quadrillion or whatever the heck dollars. So let's say that it's, I'm going to go lower so I have an easier number to work with. So here the stock is like, see, it's 1.5 million. If they did a stock split that was like 1 for 10, that means that if you had one stock, all of a sudden now you have 10, but the stock price went from 1.5 million to 150,000. So you own, basically, they took your slice of cake and they cut it in like 10 different pieces. You have the same amount of cake. Now they just call it 10 little slices instead of one big slice. So anyways, this guy purchased a little bit. He only purchased like 0.0000 something. He purchased 64K worth, and he's down to less than 1/10 of a cent. So yeah, dirt poor now. That rots. I'm sure he's getting eaten alive here. Negative 100. I mean, you don't see that very often. You'll see a minus 99, a minus 98. Minus 100 is like, couldn't even do that if I tried. That's true. He put 64K in. Now the whole company's worth 125K, which is wild. First huge loss. My mom finds out I'm cooked. Tuno Meat KBRA02. So he pretty much had 10K. He bought calls on QQQ SPY. So no hedging at all, just hoping that the market goes up, hoping for the best. That was on July 7th. I don't remember what the market did on that day. Again, I've been kind of on vacation here. Let's see, July 7th. Yep. So he wanted QQQ to be above 552, and it went from 553 down to 552-ish. So, yeah, this was an in-the-money call because he needed to be over 552, and it was. And by the time it expired, it probably expired worthless, like just at the money. Same for SPY, I'm guessing. Your mom, yeah, it's crazy. This one's from English Teacher 2002. Spent $2,400 in commissions to lose 17,000. How did you spend 2,400 to lose 17,000? Let's look at this. Oh, so he did an XSP. I believe XSP is a variant of like the S&P 500. Yeah. I don't fully understand what XSP is. Like, what is its purpose? Mini options or whatever? Like, how is it different from SPY, you know? But it seems like it mirrors SPY. So anyways, he did an iron condor. So an iron condor is where you are I believe you're buying a put here, right? Let's open up this in. Whoa, what is going on? All right, you're buying a put way out. You're buying a call way out, and then you're shorting a call and shorting a put in the middle. So you're basically betting against, I believe you're betting against volatility. Are iron condors a bet against volatility? Let's check. Yes, yep. So it's a bet against volatility, more or less. So he started off with a bet against volatility on the S&P. He removed the short call leg. So basically now he needs the stock to go up because, yeah, he removed his hedge for what he would do if it went down. End of the day down 15K. This is a more complex trade. Don't F around with stuff you don't understand for sure. Also looks like he paid way too much in commissions. Oh, so this $2,400 in commissions wasn't like he's a salesman and got a commission. It was his paycheck. He paid this much in commission on... That's insane to pay that much in commission. Look at all that. Look at all that in commission right there. Yeah, he didn't do very well, and I think he... Yeah. His short call, he should have held. This loss is from Persian Bot. I don't think... Besides Steve Zissou, I don't recommend... Or don't... recognize any of these names. Took a break from options, decided to come back at the wrong time and blew up my account again. This is what we love to see. So he purchased on July 9th a 1-day to expiration option expiring on July 10th. I should just leave my S&P tab up. So current price was 626. He needed it to drop to 623 because he had a 624 put. And let's see what happened between July 9th when he purchased and July 10th. So again, remember, he needs it to go from 626 down to 623. And it must have been right about here. He's sending his screenshot. And through the end of the 10th, it just does not dip enough to what he needs. Now, if he bought a 2-day expiration expiring on the 11th, he might have made some money, actually. But he didn't give it enough time. So he lost, put about 13K in, and it was worth 1,500. If he sold, he got that money back. Otherwise, it definitely expired out of the money and worthless. Yeah. That went to zero for sure. I mean, if he sold, good for him, but yeah, not a good move. Could you give me the remaining 500? That's him. All right. So next is someone help me crawl out of the depths of hell. So this guy's lost 54K, which is 33% of his portfolio. So he had about, I'm trying to think. I think he was at 150 and now he's at about 100 and lost about a third of it. That's about the math. No positions, but a series of SPY puts. So what's up with all these bears like betting against the S&P 500? The people who are least successful seem to be addicted to put options. That's exactly what I'm thinking. Yeah, why can't you just bet the side that wins 90% of the time? These people just want to, like, win big on accident. And then, even then, they wouldn't even call it a day, you know? Show all. Oh, he's doing pretty well long term. Started with maybe 30, 40K. He's at 150. And next is, and that's why you never sell covered calls. This guy sold covered calls against NVIDIA. So a covered call is where, remember, you're shorting the call. So you're selling a call. So instead of buying a call, hoping it goes up, you are actually buying -1 of a call. So you're hoping that it goes down because obviously if the call's worth more and you have to buy it back, you're in worse shape. So he's a short call, selling a covered call is essentially the same as buying a put in your intention. Like you're hoping it goes down. It's very different how everything works, like theta and all that. And now it looks like he is stuck NVDL. So that's not NVIDIA itself. That's like a derivative of it, 2x long. So he owned 100 shares when it's covered calls. That means that he was selling calls, right? So there's a few layers to this. If he bought a call, he would be hoping that NVIDIA long goes over 65. He sold the call, so he owns -1 of the call. So he wants NVIDIA long to go, this NVDL thing here, he wants it to go under 65 because then he can essentially buy it back when it's worthless, right? So that's what he's hoping for. And he sold it. Remember, he opened the position, right? Because the selling here means he like bought a -1, right? And is expiring on July 11th. So we'll see what's happened in that time period. So again, he bought it, he sold that call here. So he shorted a call here. He owned 100 shares of this stock, and he would be on the hook to sell 65 sell 100 shares of NVDA long at $65 a pop between now and July 11th. And because it went all the way up, he didn't really lose money. He just missed out on money, because if he just didn't ever sell that contract, he wouldn't have been on the hook. He would own 100 shares of NVDL. He could have sold it right here at 77, but because he had taken that little premium, now he's on the hook to sell it at $65. Hoping that makes sense. Comment below. Subscribe too, but comment below. He did still make money, that is true, but he could have made a lot more money. A lot of these people don't really know what a covered call is. I'm going to have to get a better understanding of it and then make a video on that for sure. He's definitely sounding a little salty here. Would still make like 40K on this trade. What could have made 52K. I doubt he made 40K on the trade. How not to scalp. This is Jeebus Freak 666. How not to scalp 0 day to expiration. SPY lost $20,000. So he bought puts everywhere. Goodness gracious. And then he just sold them for a lot less. Pretty straightforward. It was all on July 3rd. So that was, remember, that was the day where that one guy that I was talking about like accidentally made money, because on July 3rd it pretty much went up for the most part, but there was a little spot where it dipped. This guy was just like trying to scalp buying puts. So he's hoping it goes down. It just like barely went down at all. He probably made a little bit at like 12:30, 1:30. Yeah, no more 0 DTE unless like big news. That's a smart call. With knowledge, Okut, I'm really starting to believe I suck at this. So he sold to close. So he bought a $549 put on July 10th. Let's see. July 10th. Yeah, so he bought a 549 put. So he's hoping that it drops down below 549. Never did. So it expired worthless. And he sold it before it did, but he looks like he went from 8K to about 2K. Last post, ATL, Atlanta fan, I'm guessing, 741. Hurt too much to post at the time. So I don't know when this is from. Let's see. It was back in, it's probably March 6th and February 2nd, but it could be like the European thing where it's like month and then day. So it could be June 3rd and July 2nd. I don't know. So this is LUNR. He lost 10K. He bought 700. Yeah, it's got to be February because, see, it's 2.4 and then 2.7. Yeah, so he bought LUNR and he bought more LUNR, 10 more after buying 715. He averaged down a tiny, tiny bit. And then he sold in March. Let's take a look at LUNR, the 6-month chart. So he bought, was it February 4th and February 2nd? He bought on February 4th, so he bought right here at $21. Bought again on the 7th, so he bought at, it said $19, $19 he bought at. So he's already down 15%. Now, the best timing possible, there's no winning from here. He bought at a terrible time. The best he could have done is probably take a little gain on the doubling down and then sold here and then rode all the way down to the bottom in DC. Now, this is in hindsight. Like, you clearly don't know where the stock is going. But he sold on March 6th, right? So he sold, like, here. So, again, he bought here. He sold about here. Lost about 50%. So, at least he got out. So, he probably, if it's 700 shares, I don't know if you can see my calculator on the screen. 725 shares at about $21. So put about 15K in and then lost about half of that. Or no, he sold it at about 7.6. Yeah, so he lost 10K. Put 15 in, got about 5 out. So that's a tough loss. See the comments on this last post. He said lost 75. Yeah, 75% about. Gambled with the NASA mission. No tax on tips. Might be worth checking out Wendy's, of course. Hope this 10K loss teaches you you are an index fund guy going forward. I mean, 10K is a valuable, or that's a lot of money. I learned the lesson after like $100. Market only go up, while account only go down. I think that's about all I got for today, guys. It's just to look through. Again, we got more regular content coming up. Going to be doing breakdowns of trades with a little bit more editing as usual. Be doing the monthly breakdowns, doing concept videos, wins, losses, all the rest, news. Also, at some point, going to be hopefully doing an in-person video as well. So keep posted on that for sure. Make sure to hit like and subscribe. That's all I got for you today. Have a wonderful weekend. Keep enjoying your summer, and I'll see you soon.